daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Liverpool podcast brought to you by the Global Sports Podcast Network. As one of England's most important cultural icons once said, I think back in the 1990s, a mockery of a sham, of a sham, of a mockery. Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1. We've lost another game, Reds. We go into this international break off the back of 3 straight victories, 2 in the Premier League, 1 in the Champions League. We've gone 2-1 down at Chelsea. And to be honest, again, you've got to hold your hands up and say, we probably deserved it. We didn't do enough to win this game. We didn't do enough to get a point out this game, even though at one point it looked like we had salvaged a draw. If there wasn't an issue before, if this wasn't a mini crisis before, by our standards, you've got to be concerned now. And I think Liverpool fans will be concerned. I think optics are really important now in modern football. And whether we like it or not, the optics are not great. The optics are that this is a team that for some reason has just lost its way, and lost its way really from the start of this season. Even though we were winning games, we were getting last minute winners, we were getting ourselves out of jail. And there were many in the media, former Liverpool players as well. Jamie Carragher said that we are going to get caught out at one stage if we keep on performing like this. It's not so much that we were constantly winning games in the last minute. That in and of itself is not the issue. If you're playing well and you're just creating a lot of chances and you're just not putting them away, and then you get a last minute winner, that's one thing. But if you're not performing to your own standards, if you're not playing particularly well, and then you're relying on moments to get you out of jail, then that's not sustainable. That's not something that's going to carry on indefinitely. And we've seen that now in the last 3 games. And much of the criticism that I've had of Arne Slot's style of play is now coming to bear, I think, because we're just too slow. We're too ponderous in possession. There doesn't seem to be enough energy out of possession. And Mohamed Salah he's not firing. He's just not firing. And he's got into a few positions today where last season or the season before that, it's in the back of the net. And he's had a couple of situations, a couple of opportunities where he just hasn't made the right decision. It's not just that he's missing opportunities. All top strikers, they'll miss opportunities. But he's not making the right decisions either. And again, it's still early days. It's still only 7 games into this season. And we are now a point behind Arsenal. But I think what these last few games have done, in much in the same way that it's dented our confidence naturally, it's brought us down a peg or 2. Conversely, this has given Arsenal a huge, huge psychological lift going into this international break. Going into this international break now, Liverpool are the team that go in off the back of 3 straight defeats and a point behind Arsenal. Arsenal go into this international break in the ascendancy. They're top of the league, but probably just as importantly, they've been given an injection of belief that not only do they have a chance, and not only do they think that they're probably good enough to go and win this league, they're probably looking at Liverpool now, and they're probably looking at City now and thinking there isn't a real challenge. Yes, Liverpool are going to come back and they're probably going to challenge, but we can do this now. We can do this. Liverpool have got serious flaws. And if these last 3 games have shown us anything, it's that it's going to take some time for this team to iron out these flaws. And Arne Slot is going to have to really earn his money now. He did a fantastic job last season, but that's over and done with now. Last season is done. This is now a new season. And he's got to show that he can pull this team out of this rut, because it is a rut. And the only thing is now is this down to, is it just because we've had a new influx of players and this has caused a bit of instability? It's going to take time for the players to gel. Is it that players are off form? Florian Wirtz hasn't really hit the ground running. It's going to take him time to get up and running. Mohamed Salah hasn't really hit the heights this season. Is it a case of there's just too many players that haven't really started this season so well? Alexander Isak is our main number 9, and he's still finding his form and he's still finding his fitness. Players like Kirkes is getting subbed pretty much most games now for Andy Robertson. So I think there are a lot of question marks and a lot of issues that the manager now has got to really work to solve. And he's got now a couple of weeks with this international break, which maybe it doesn't do him any good in the sense that most of the players are going to be going away on international duty. But he's got a real rethink on his hands. He's got to work out what it is that's going on with this team. And one of the things that I have consistently said, even when we were flying last season, is that my one big concern about the Arne Slot methodology is the tempo of our play. It's just too slow. I've said it many, many times, and I'm going to say it again, because that really is the fundamental issue here, is that our build-up play is too slow, and it just allows the opposition to get settled, and then you have 2 banks of 5 to break down. And someone like Mohamed Salah, that's not his game. It never has been his game to break down a team that's lying in such a low block and doubled up. That's just not his game, and it's not the game for most attackers. And so Slot really has got to show his worth now. And for me, the fundamental thing is that he has got to get the team playing at a faster tempo. There were moments in that second half where the game got stretched and we were passing the ball a lot quicker. This was after we'd equalised, and it looked, for all intents and purposes, maybe after the first 5-10 minutes after we'd scored, that we were the ones most likely to win this game. But then slowly they went back into this playing the ball very slowly out of the back, giving the ball to Virgil van Dijk. He stands on the ball, literally stands on the ball. And I just don't think that that's a style of play that is going to be successful for us as a club, for this set of players, and for in this Premier League, because it's so helter-skelter. You've got to be more proactive. You've got to show more energy. And that's the big thing that I take away from this defeat. I thought some of the players that came in, Mahmoud Ashford, I thought that he was good. I thought he commanded the box well. I don't think he could have done much with the goals that we conceded. I mean, the Caicedo goal, he just had a free pass through the whole of the central area of our team. He was not challenged at all, and to be fair to me, he absolutely hit an absolute cracker. And you can have two goalkeepers, and they're not going to save it. But why give him that opportunity? Why give him that much space? But I thought overall, Mamardashvili, I thought was good, and I think that one of the things that we're going to benefit from him when he is in goal is the quick way in which he distributes the ball and the use of the throw. Whereas Alisson, invariably kind of plays it short to Van Dijk or to Canate, Mamardashvili got the ball, and his first look up was to see how far he can throw that ball to an attacking player, to Gakpo or to Salah, and that set up quite a few counterattacks for us. Canate went off injured, which is a concern for us, bearing in mind that Leone is out for the whole season. We are now down to Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez as our two fit centre-backs. Obviously, we don't know the extent of Canate's injury, but he hasn't got a great injury record as well, so that's a big concern. James Pearce, a well-known Liverpool FC journalist, has reported that Andy Robertson, was hobbling off, didn't look very good. So there's a few injury concerns that are mounting, but the one at centre-back, I think, is a real worry, given that we are in this kind of form. So when a team's not playing particularly well, when they're under pressure, when they're conceding goals and they're conceding regularly, the last thing you want is to have a centre-back injury crisis. And that's, I think, where we're at the moment. If Canate is injured for any length of time, if he's missing any kind of game time, then I think that would be a crisis for us, because that's Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez, and Joe Gomez doesn't have a particularly good injury record. So these are worrying times, I think, for Liverpool. At the same time, I've got to, this is immediately post-match. Everything looks really bleak immediately post-match. But I think the other thing that Arne Slot has got to do, apart from resetting the mentality, resetting the kind of mood and the morale in the team, is to turn around to these guys and say, look, you've had a pretty poor 3 games. Okay. You've been absolutely rubbish. And being rubbish, you're second in the Premier League, a point behind the leaders. This is by no means over. This is by no means the season is done in the Premier League. We're 7 games in. We've got over 30 games to go in the Premier League. Lots and lots of football to be played. Lots and lots of points up for grabs. And so he's now got to get into that team and say, what are you made of? What are you made of? You are the champions of England, and other teams are going to have to take that title off of you. So come back from this international break and let's start again. Let's go again. But not a good performance, not a good weekend if you're a Red, and we've got to stew on this now for the next couple of weeks until we return. And then we've got some tasty fixtures. We've got Manchester United who are waiting for us as well. So we've got to turn this around quickly. But look, we're going to give a much more in-depth post-match analysis in the next couple of days with Louis on the Monday review program, and Adash and Michael will be back for a Tactics Tuesday episode to go over this defeat in a bit more detail. But until then, thank you for listening, and we'll see you again soon.
Your body is unique, and Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bioniq, the world's most personalised supplements. Bioniq provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimise your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bioniq, Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.